So first of all, I'm a 23-year-old girl from Indiana, and I make electronic and alternative pop music. I'm also queer and Indian American, so that's kind of my background. I feel like as an artist, I'm very vulnerable and whimsical. I feel like my music is really like representative of who I am and like whatever I'm going through at the time when I'm writing the music. So I feel like it just connects to parts of me that aren't able to be expressed in like other ways. So I feel like for that reason, it's very vulnerable, like with the lyrics and everything. And I feel like as an artist, like as a persona, I feel like I'm very whimsical. I really like to storytell and world build. Through my songs and my projects. Like to me, it's not just about the music because I'm a visual artist as well. So I really like to create a whole world and a whole story around each release. And I feel like I'm also very like always evolving and adapting and changing because I feel like I said, I feel like my music is really representative of my life and whatever's going on. And I feel like as a person, I'm always changing. And I feel like my music is kind of the same way.
I love that. I love the word whimsical for you. Yeah. That makes so much sense. And your world building, like that's one of the first things I noticed about you. Like you were so good
that
at that,
me so happy.
detailed. I love it. And who are some of your biggest influences?
So I feel like top three. First is Charlie XCX. I've been a fan of her. Herself. Yes, my absolute queen. I've been a fan of her for like 6 years now, I think. So it's been really cool to kind of see her grow as an artist as well. And I just love her, like, everything about her as an artist. I feel like, first of all, she never misses on a song. Like, every song is so good. And she has, like, such a core, like, cult following that, like, it was so exciting. And then, obviously, now she's kind of blown up. But I feel like I really love how, like, she would connect with her fans and everything. And just as a performer, like, I've seen her 3 times.
Wow,
and
I'm jealous.
No, yeah. And every time, like, last time was the Sweat Tour, and it was truly something else. Like, I just love her.
It's a spiritual experience.
Yeah. And I also love that she really embraces change, I feel like. And I feel like not every artist does that, but I feel like she totally embraces like the world around her and just like reality. And I feel like she's very adaptable in that she, you know, whatever new challenge presents itself to her, like she'll make the best of it. Like during COVID, when a lot of people kind of shut down, like she decided to make an album during that time and like document the whole process and get her fans involved. And I feel like that was really special. So yeah, she's like a huge inspiration for me. I feel like also Ariana Grande is a huge inspiration to me. I think that like she's probably the best vocalist of like our generation, and also been a huge fan of her since high school, so like probably like 10 plus years. She also just doesn't miss, and I feel like when I was starting to make music, like I feel like I was really like nervous about my voice and stuff. And I feel like I learned a lot just from like watching her interviews and like seeing how involved she is like in the studio with recording. Like she knows exactly what she wants and how she layers her voice and like all the harmonies and everything and the riffs that she does. It's really inspiring to me. I just feel like she's like top notch just like as a singer and an artist and like a live artist too. And I feel like I look up to her like in a really like aspirational way too. And I think she's also super vulnerable with her music. I feel like she just lays it all out there, and yeah, I love her. I feel like she's definitely like just overall one of the best artists of our generation, in my opinion. I totally
agree. She's one of my all-time favorites too. Do you think she was robbed at the Grammys this year?
Every year.
Yeah, me too. It was really depressing.
Yes. I mean, yeah, let's not even get into
that album was so good.
I know.
Too. Like, so good.
And you know what? I was robbed of tickets.
Me too. I feel you on that. I do.
But yeah. And then the third artist that I feel like I take a lot of inspiration from is FKA Twigs.
Okay.
I haven't been a fan of her for as long, I feel like, but probably since like Capri Songs is when I like really started to get into her. But I feel like she is so good with like the world building aspect, not even just from like whatever she publishes online, but like even in like her performances and the way she presents herself. And I feel like what I also love about her is that she's an artist outside of the music as well, and she's very vocal about like, you know, being a dancer and everything like that too. And I feel like she's really good at the world building and just it not just being about the music. Like it's about a feeling truly that she's trying to communicate, and also she's always evolving. Like no album sounds the same at all. Like the newest, like Eusexua versus Capri Songs is like so different, but it's still like really her. I feel like she's also very vulnerable, and I really love her songwriting. I feel like you don't always, and I feel like mine is kind of similar, where it's like you don't always know what I'm talking about, but like it's deep. If you're listening, it's there. So yeah, I definitely really look up to her. I think she's amazing, and she's still like yet to see her like mainstream recognition, but I feel like it's really coming, and she always is like gonna surprise whoever's listening and watching. So
I love that.
Yeah.
And then tell us a little bit about your music journey. When and how did you get started with making music?
So I've been a musician my whole life. I started singing when I was 3.
Oh my gosh.
I literally loved like performing. Like I would just get on top of the table and start singing like whatever. Like I love The Little Mermaid, so I would sing all the songs from that. And so my parents enrolled me in Carnatic vocal training, which is like Indian classical music.
Okay,
So my brother and I would go to class every week, and I was a kid, so I didn't really it didn't really take it that seriously, but I loved it and I loved performing. And then so I did that for about 13 years. So from like whenever until like I graduated high school. And then in middle school I started getting more into like Western music. So like I played the oboe in middle school and I really liked that. And then I started picking up the piano. And that's kind of when I started like songwriting. Was more when I could play something that would like allow me to write songs. And I feel like it was just the natural progression. I also really started getting into like I feel like most people in middle school will go through like an emo phase.
Yes.
And I feel like at that time I went through like a really hardcore like EDM and house phase.
Wow, you were so ahead of your time.
I was really ahead of, like, I look back on that and I'm like, oh my God.
Being like 12 years old listening to EDM
Yes.
is so funny.
And I was on the school bus like in the morning, 6 a.m. like like literally, and that was all I would listen to. So yeah, I feel like that's the first time that I felt like I was really like connecting with the music that I was listening to. And then I feel like it just kind of went from there. Like for whatever reason, you know, life and self-esteem and all that, I just kind of kept it to myself for a really long time. And then in college, I started making music with Brooks, my producer and partner, and yeah, we just created something that I feel like was so like raw and real that I was like, I don't know why I want to hide this anymore. Like I feel like, you know, it's been so long. I've tried so many other things, you know, like I was doing art, I majored in fashion design, and I don't know. It just wasn't coming. Like nothing came to me. Nothing felt right the way that making music did.
Yeah.
And I think like after releasing my first EP, like it was so scary, but then nothing has been like as difficult. Like after that, I feel like it flew because I realized like maybe this is something that I can do. Like maybe it's going to be a ton of work. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's worth it to me. I feel like this is what I want to do. And yeah, that's kind of my musical journey. It's been a long one. It's been a like kind of a toxic one sometimes, but I feel like
it can be.
I feel like, you know, as you grow as a person, I feel like the music has grown with me and my relationship with making music and songwriting and all that too.
I love that. And then you recently came out with a new single, H2O. What's the story behind the track and what inspired like the concept, the title, lyrics, all of that?
So basically, I was working with this producer that I met on TikTok. Shout out Cole2K. But he's really cool, and he does a lot of like 2000s inspired stuff.
It's very Y2K. I
Yes.
love it.
Yes. It's so, and that's like, I feel like that's a lot of like kind of the aesthetic that I kind of connect to right now. Even like dress wise and everything. But yeah, so we were just talking. Brooks and I have been like working on this project, and it felt like something was missing, and we couldn't exactly pinpoint it. So I just was kind of like open to receiving things, and he sent me this beat, and it was just something, I don't know, it was so unique, and it made me connect like instantly when I heard the beat. It made me think of like playing mermaids at the pool with my friends, and I literally texted him that. And so he finished the beat and sent it over, and that's literally like, that was the exact phrase, was like playing mermaids at the pool. Yeah. And that's when I just wrote the entire song kind of around that. And yeah, the rest of it kind of just flowed from there, but it really is just like a love letter to like my childhood best friends that I grew up with.
I love that.
I feel like they were like the only people who like really understood me in a time where it was just like, I don't know, like, you know, we were the only kind of brown girls and stuff like that. So I feel like we really had each other, and we would always like play pretend, and like we loved the show H2O, Just Add Water, which is where the title is from. And so it's really just about like us always playing pretend, like always like wanting to be older and like different versions of ourselves. And now that we are older, I feel like we always look back so fondly on like the simpler times. So yeah, just very nostalgic and sweet, and yeah.
I really love that. And same, I was an H2O girl too.
Yes.
So. And then how does H2O relate to your past singles/EPs? Is it pushing into new territory or refining what you've been building?
So I feel like H2O is very like new direction for me. It's the first single that we are releasing from a project that I've been working on. And the project as a whole is very like, it has that kind of sparkly quality. It's all about like light and ambition. So it's really pushing that new direction, a lot of like hip hop and hyper pop influence in that. And yeah, I feel like a lot of my music in the past has been a little bit like more depressing, because it's just reflective of like whatever I was going through when I was writing it. And I feel like I'm not in that space anymore, and I'm like going through different things, and I really wanted to make music that was reflective of like how I'm feeling like right now versus you know, like not every song needs to be like super deep and like introspective. Like sometimes I feel like it's fun to just make fun music, and I can still talk about the things that I want to talk about. So I feel like it was fun to kind of explore like a new direction for the sound. And a lot of the new songs, like it's going to be a lot of like just like bangers, I feel like. But yeah, it's definitely pushing into that new direction, and I'm really excited to release more of the stuff, because I feel like people will kind of understand more of what I'm going for. But it's kind of like the first like introduction into kind of a newer sound.
Amazing. I love that. And then if someone never heard of you and your music, what is the first song of yours that they should play and why?
So I think that they should listen to my song Brain Freeze. I feel like that song is really like well thought out, and it's just so representative of like me, and I feel like it's really relatable for a lot of people in their 20s and things like that. It's just about like, I don't know, like going to a club and just like being kind of like unhappy with your life, but just like getting lost like with your friends and in the music, and just kind of like dancing your feelings away. And I feel like there's like, it starts off really soft and deep, and then it just gets into this like pop ness. So I really feel like that's representative of like my whole discography. I feel like there's like kind of a dichotomy between like more fun and upbeat pop songs versus like things that are a little bit like slower paced. And I feel like I specifically like made that song to kind of connect two different parts. And we also did a music video, so I feel like if you really want to experience like the whole world building aspect of it, it's cool to have the like really thought out visual accompaniment to that. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so everyone needs to check it out. And then what do you hope people take away after listening to your music?
So I feel like basically whatever you want to get out of it. I feel like when I make music, like I make it for myself and like whatever I want to process, or, you know, even if I'm just making something to have fun, I don't really make it with anything like in mind usually. So I feel like in that vein, like I feel like people like have misinterpreted my songs all the time, but I'm like, if that's what made you connect to it, then I want that for you. I have a song called Evil Eye, and I feel like everyone kind of thinks that it's about like, oh, like I have to watch my back because people are hating on me, but it's actually about like religious OCD. Like it's not about that at all.
Wow.
But I'm like, if that's what made you connect to the song, I want you to feel that when you're listening to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that they just, and I feel like out of me as an artist and my music, I hope that like you have fun when you listen to my music, or like if you're listening to sadder stuff, I hope that it helps you heal. And I hope that, you know, I feel like people can find like hope within my music, and yeah, I just hope you like it, really.
Love that. And then what can fans expect in the future? Are you going to do more albums, any live shows?
Yeah, so I have a lot coming up. I feel like I'm really just kind of getting started right now. But like I said, we're working on a new project. It's going to be a really like slow release process, but definitely a lot more singles. We're going to be doing at least like 1 to 2 music videos, so that's really exciting. I love doing videos to accompany like my songs. And more merch. I have a live show coming up on November 7th. That's kind of a while away, and might be doing more. But
is the live show in Indianapolis?
Yes, it is in Indianapolis. So mark your calendars.
Where are you performing?
It's at the Health Club in Broad Ripple.
Nice.
Yeah, I do a lot of shows there. So yeah, excited for that one. And we'll probably have a lot more live shows coming up. And yeah, merch and just a lot more fun stuff. And yeah, hopefully some unexpected stuff too.
Well, I'm super excited to see it. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank
it was great to get to
you.
know you as an artist and all of that.